rapper, running for alderman of the 20th Ward in Chicago, Illinois, alderman in Chicago with city council and the rest of the country. And so basically, we're doing it because every time I would come off the road, it would be more unemployment, more young people dying, more vacant homes. And then the young people who know me as Rhymefest will come up to me and ask me questions like, man, you must have fell off. And I'm like, why I fall off? Because you here. You live here with us. You somebody we saw on TV that walk around our neighborhood. You must have fell off. And so my response was, I came back to put you on. I came back to lift you up. And that was something that a lot of young people, especially that listen to hip hop, weren't used to. They weren't used to by the artists, and they weren't used to by the local leaders that their parents helped elect. People have been managing poverty in our community. They've been using artists to do fundraisers for them. But every time the artists come back home, the neighborhood is worse than it was when they left. So I decided to take personal responsibility, and that's why I'm here. A lot of us help people around the world. We help people around the country. You know, I hear about Common doing foundation work, you know, in LA, and I hear about rappers going to different people's schools to speak to the students. And I've worked in the UK with the guy who's now the Prime Minister, David Cameron. We have political initiatives we help create in the UK. I work with Congressman John Conyers, Hank Johnson of Atlanta, Sheila Jackson Lee. But then it's like, why we never do nothing in our own neighborhood? Like, we call ourselves hood. We be like, man, I hold my block down. But we really never on our block, really. And like, I guess coming and driving your car through the neighborhood and shining for somebody, that's not really helping them. Like, why don't we really put people on? Not in a way where it's like you rapping on my stuff, but Lupe does something. He has a book drive, his foundation. But it's like journalists don't highlight that. Nobody. Lupe came and gave coats away to the whole neighborhood. Nobody talked about that. But then when he talked about Barack Obama, everybody's like, ah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Me and Lupe got in a political debate. They're like, is that beef? Is there a song coming after that? And I guess I know it's about music. And it's also about entertainment and what is entertaining. So that is the other thing, like that. Young people are really going to come out and support me until after I'm already in office and do something that'd be like, oh man, he won already. You can't get a record deal these days unless you already famous. Black people didn't support Barack Obama until after white people did. Women didn't support Hillary Clinton until after men already did. So it's like in this world, everything is the opposite. So when people were saying I was running a youth campaign, I was really running a community campaign. It was the seniors that had to get me to the runoff. It was the mothers. It was the fathers. And it was people that listened to hip hop, but it wasn't hip hop. Rappers. It's one thing when they're rapping and it sounds good, but have you ever heard any of them talk? They sound like boxers that have one too many blows to the head. Some of them. And many of them that are famous, so quote unquote popular. You know. But so the media wanted to see me stumble. They wanted to see me not know my numbers. They wanted to see me not have a platform. And they wanted to make a mockery of me for what their belief was of me making a mockery out of political leadership. So they didn't come to cover me because I was Rhymefest. They came to cover the rapper who they wrote good things about when I did music, but they were ready to pummel when I tried to take personal leadership from my community. The thing that people didn't realize is that hip hop is about owning a business. When you're an artist that people know, you own a business. You have a brand. You have to make impressions. You have to have data. Where are my fans at? Who are my fans? How do I get to those fans? How do I give 7 to 12 impressions to those fans before my album release, through radio, through internet, through marketing, through posters, through concerts? How do I make money when albums don't sell? How can I do a concert? How can I have merchandising? What do I do with that merchandising? Hip hop has evolved from just being an artist to being a CEO of a company called you. And so, as we relate that to politics, I think that that is the same thing we have to do with broken communities. How do we make impressions among the people so that they can begin reinvesting in their own community? What are the data? What is the numbers of the unemployed, vacant houses? How can we use that blank canvas artistically to paint a picture, to have a vision? How do we put together an organization, a disciplined team, in order to move us to where we need to be for the release date? And the release date for a candidate is the day of the voting. Let's even go further. I was in a forum in a debate, and one of my opponents, who was a lawyer, said, this is before the runoff, he said, this is not a rap battle. He was like, you know, you're clever and you're witty, but I just want to remind you, this ain't 8 Mile. This is people's lives. And in my mind, I thought, the hell, it ain't 8 Mile. That's just your whack line. You know what I mean? Oh, I tore him off. Because coming up through the battle rapping ranks, I understand timing. I understand when to stop. I understand how to get them lines out and how to freestyle when things go off course. So that element of the talent that is within me is the same element that can be transferred into political talent. What I would say to younger people is just start doing it. Don't listen to the apathy. Don't listen to the people who tell you it can't be done. Right now, in this little area in Chicago, impossible things are happening all the time, every day. I've met amazing people. Dr. Cornel West said to me, if you want to meet Martin Luther King, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Malcolm X, leave the studio and go home. And what I find as it relates to hip hop is that hip hop is most powerful when it's local. That's why major labels are falling. That's why records aren't selling. That's why you see more independents getting Grammys. You have to realize that if you're looking for Dr. Dre, if you're looking for Swiss Beats, it's not gonna work for you coming from here. I found Kanye because he was my neighbor. I didn't find him when he got put on. We weren't friends after he made it. We helped each other to make it together. And what his capacity is that. What my capacity is this. I'm happy in my capacity, but I can do so much more where I am. The most powerful impact I ever made is in community. Hip hop started with a microphone, 2 speakers, a DJ in the park. So what are we really saying?
Hi, this is Jason Johnson from The Source Magazine. This is
Shay Rhymefest Smith from the 20th Ward.
We just want to say this is Hip Hop on Politics for The Source Magazine. Hope you guys have learned a lot from this. Jay, you got any final words for the audience?
Man, I want to thank you for coming out and doing some real journalism. It's not often that we get journalists to come out and cover real things that are happening in the hood. And I want to thank you for your effort, man, and your time, and I want to thank your readers and your listeners.
Oh, thank you. I feel blessed. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
This is the 6th element of hip hop.